I can't believe I still can't find her. It's like I've been cursed or something. I can't stop myself from complaining. I walked all around Akiba over and over searching for Chris-chan, but as hard as I tried, I couldn't find her. It's almost midnight. If I can't find her before the last train, I guess I'll have to wait until tomorrow. Maybe tomorrow she'll be answering her phone, though. I try to be positive about it. But the feeling that I can't let this wait until tomorrow won't leave me. Anyway, I need to do everything I can until then. I don't want to regret not doing something. She should pick up a can of Dr. Pepper and a fork.
Wait, no, she needs a spoon.
A spoon?
Wasn't it a spoon that she wanted?
I thought it was a fork.
Oh,
maybe it was a spoon. I forget.
Just pick up a set of silverware.
Yeah.
And just leave them out in the middle of the street.
Next to a can of Dr. Pepper and stake out the location. She'll show up. She'll show up.
Christina just poking her head out from behind a corner.
I bury my negative feelings and hold my head up. And at that moment, my gaze is drawn toward the UPX overpass. The chestnut-colored hair, the personalized uniform. She's far away, but there's no mistaking it. Chris-chan. Chris-chan is blankly staring down from the overpass. Chris-chan. Hey, Chris-chan. I wave my hands wildly and call out her name, but she doesn't notice me. Still staring down from the overpass, she stands in place. Cars zoom under the overpass at scarily fast speeds. Chris-chan? It suddenly seemed to me that she might jump down into the cars zooming past below her, and my breath catches in my throat. In a split second, I was blindly running up the stairs leading up to the overpass. Chris-chan's eyes were blank, and it seemed like she was looking at nothing at all. She was just vacantly staring into space, with her fingers touching her lips. It's as if she was a doll with her soul sucked out of her. Chris-chan. I run with all my might and tackle her. Ah! Our entangled bodies collapse onto the overpass.
Mayuri tackle hugging Kurisu.
Mayuri?
With the same energy that Hobbes tackles Calvin.
Yeah.
I feel.
Chris-chan, you can't do that. Don't throw your life away. I lock her body in a tight embrace. Huh? What? What's going on? Why are you... Huh? Because you looked like you were going to jump at any second. I needed to stop you. Huh? Seriously, Mayuri? You thought I was going to commit suicide?
I've just been depressed because my Magic the Gathering collection depreciated in value by 10%.
They reprinted Force of Will, and now I'm reconsidering my past buying decisions. Yeah? No, that's definitely not what was going on. I've thought about it before, but
Casually, like, yeah, I thought about suicide before, but the normal amount. You know, just the normal that we all think about suicide, right? Kurisu-chan, the normal amount is not at all. Oh.
Oh, so Mayushi was just jumping to conclusions. What a relief.
Better to jump to conclusions than off an overpass.
Hey.
Hey-yo! I don't know why I'm high-fiving you for that one.
My body, which had been tensed up this whole time, relaxes. You seemed down and I couldn't get a hold of you, so I was really worried. I'm sorry about that. I was too overwhelmed to check my phone even once. That's okay. I'm just happy I managed to find you. Wait, Mayuri, were you looking for me this whole time? Mm-hmm. Then you were out all day, but it's practically midnight.
Love waits for no one.
I was worried about you, Chris-chan. Maybe I went a little overboard. Mayuri, you're a cute girl, so you shouldn't be walking around so late at night. You could have been caught by some scary people or ended up in some other sort of danger. Shouldn't you listen to your own advice, Chris-chan? I'm unlike you, Mayuri. I'm not cute at all, so it's fine.
Quick, tell her she's cute.
No way. That's not true. Mayuri. Chris-chan smiles weakly and gently pats me on the back. Thank you for looking for me this whole time. It was nothing. We're friends, so it's only natural. It's natural for you, Mayuri. Until now, nobody's ever come looking for me. For me, it's anything but natural. Chris-chan. I always thought that nobody would ever care what happened to me. Even my father ignored me. Mayushi would never not care about what happened to you, Chris-chan. And everyone else feels the same way. Ferris-chan, Okarin, and everyone else in the lab. When I said that, Chris-chan looked into the distance grimly. She stayed silent for a while, then let out a troubled sigh. Mayuri, you're too good. I have no right to be talking to you right now. She bites her lip and casts her eyes downward. Don't say that. Once more I tightly embrace Chris-chan's slender body. It's okay. We'll always be friends. Don't worry, a few bumps won't change that. Mayuri. She hesitantly raises her eyes to look at me, then shakes her head. But what if it's more than just a few bumps? Even if it is, that's fine. You can't make friends without being prepared for stuff like that. Prepared, huh? I'd rather hear the harsh truth than a nice lie. It's a lot better than not knowing anything at all. Remembering Okarin's expression, I nod to Chris-chan. I see. You're strong, Mayuri. Chris-chan crosses her arms and mumbles to herself as if she's convincing herself of something. The two of them are keeping a secret from Mayushi. Okarin didn't tell me, but Chris-chan might. Chris-chan, do you remember our promise to have a sleepover together? Yeah, of course. The hotel I'm in isn't luxurious or anything, but if that's fine with you, you're welcome anytime. It doesn't have to be fancy or anything, as long as we can have a nice, long talk. Would it be okay if we did our sleepover tonight? I mean, if it's not any trouble. Sure. After all, if we don't do it tonight, there might not be a next time. After thinking for a while, Chris-chan nodded. Yeah, okay by me. Thank you. If anything, I think that's my line, followed by an apology. Don't worry about it.
Close field.
Chris-chan sits up, then supports my body so we can get back up together. Tomorrow, I have some plans to attend to, so I need to leave early. We won't have a lot of time, but is that still okay? Yeah, that's totally fine. Well, consider yourself invited. There we go, promise delivered upon. Got to keep my word, right? I'm so happy. Thank you.
Best friend sleepover, best friend sleepover.
I've got to message Okarin and the others to let them know that I've found Chris-chan. But just as I thought to do that, I received a message of my own. What?
He's lying to her.
Oh, I thought Mayushi was the first to find you, but I guess Okarin found you first. That message is from Okabe? Yep. Chris-chan, did you stop by the lab before coming here? Did you see Okarin? Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I see. I wonder why Okarin didn't message me earlier. He told me he would as soon as he saw you. Oh, well. She looks away from me and blinks uncomfortably.
Or she's going along with the lie because it's easier. Oh, or that.
Something might have happened between her and Okarin.
Not everything has to have 16 layers of deception behind it. Got to keep remembering that.
It doesn't look like she wants me to ask. An awkward silence. Well, maybe I received the message late, or maybe Okarin forgot until now. You know, he's not good with phones and stuff. It's not, well, maybe. Chris-chan starts trying to say something, but seems to decide against it. Well then, Chris-chan, shall we get going? Staying energetic to try to blow away the awkward feeling in the air, I took Chris-chan's arm and pulled her along with me. I'd already let my dad know that I'd be late tonight, but I called him again to ask if I could stay at Chris-chan's hotel since I missed the last train. He said it was okay. Maybe it's because I called at the last minute, but Dad started freaking out about Mayushi becoming some sort of delinquent.
You found Kunyan? Thank goodness. I'm still in the middle of looking up her dad's deets. I'm working on solving that little mystery, yeah?
Mystery? What do you mean? I'm really curious. You must be a detective, Ferris-chan.
Somehow I get involved in the periphery of all of these narratives for some reason. Low-key, I think I might be the fourth most important character in this game.
Top 5 most important Steins Gate characters. Number 3 will surprise you.
Wait, yes it will, because it's Okabe, Kurisu, Mayuri? Not Mayuri?
Number 3 is Okabe.
Number 3 is Okabe, but a second time. Number 3 is Ho and Kyoma. Actually, in terms of the events of the game, who are... You know what? The answer to that question is people that are involved in Steins Gate Zeros. Maybe we'll hold off on that then.
Was that a spoiler itself?
Not really.
Okay.
Because that could be, it doesn't explain in what way.
Okay. But when I put Chris-chan on the phone, she explained the situation and convinced him. Usually he doesn't have any problem with sleepovers if I call in advance, so I was surprised at how panicked he sounded. Once I got permission to stay over at Chris Chan's, we went to the convenience store to get some snacks before going to the hotel.
The real answer? Kabuki-chan. I know. Not Kaede, though.
We're finally having our sleepover. Thanks for convincing Dad. He might not have said yes if I had to explain it all on my own. I'm used to winning debates. I know it's not really a cute thing to do, but it's kind of become a habit of mine.
Oh no, debate bro, Christina.
But I don't know what got Dad so worked up. He's always okay with me staying at the lab when it gets late, so why was he acting so odd today? To be fair, Mayuri, all you told him was, since it's late, I'm going to stay at a hotel tonight. Of course he'd get the wrong idea. Huh? But I don't see the difference in staying at a hotel versus the lab. Well, it depends on the hotel. He must have thought you were staying at the wrong type. There are right and wrong types of hotels.
Sharp learning curve ahead.
Well, sure there are, but don't worry. The hotel I'm staying at is just fine. Nothing shady about it at all. What would make it shady?
Mayuri!
Why don't we just leave it at that? Besides, all that really matters is that we got it sorted out. Yeah, and it's all thanks to your persuasion skills. I was impressed just listening to you talk. They're nothing to be impressed about. You're impressive too, Mayuri. Your dad loves you so much. Do you think so? If he didn't, he wouldn't be so worried. I think he's just a big worrywart. You should be grateful that he worries at all.
Christina, passive-aggressive daddy issues. Christina.
Okay, unrelated, what is the wall art?
Yeah, I think we had this discussion last time we saw this CG. I don't know what's happening there. I think it's meant to... It looks like a big face over the horizon, right?
It looks like a porcupine.
Or that.
A porcupine with a face.
I think...
But there's a lamp also?
Yeah, the lamp is easy to figure out.
Still life with porcupine.
Still live with porcupine. Dinsdale. I can assure you, we almost assuredly made that same joke.
Well, gotta
we are
keep
nothing
up.
if not predictable.
Gotta keep up. Consistency is key. It's what the people are here for.
Yeah, people don't come to Two Queers Play because they want radical new things. They come here for familiarity.
Like driving the same stupid joke into the ground over and over again. Or making the same in-jokes known only to us two and not to our listeners.
I think it's beautiful. I think it's beautiful is what I think.
Chris-chan smiles weakly, then takes out 2 hotel glasses. She checks the mini fridge in the cupboard. I should have kept some nicer snacks around. Sorry I can't treat you to much tonight. Well, I did kind of invite myself over at the last minute. Don't worry about
The mind of an adult and the heart of a child. That sums Ferris up perfectly, Nyan.
Thanks, Ferris. Keep doing your thing. The Lucaphone. By the end of this, everyone will have the same phone back to factory default settings.
Normally I only have cup noodles in stock. That idiot calls me Celeb Sev, but there's nothing celebrity about the way I live. We bought lots on our way here, so we should be just fine. Well, you did come all this way to visit a hotel, so do you want room service? No, it's okay. Mayushi will be happy as long as we can talk lots tonight. I guess that's the point of sleepovers. Yep, that's right. Well, which flavor of cup noodles do you prefer, seafood or curry? I'll have curry. Okay.
Oh, that's an adorable CG.
Yeah.
Oh, and she got some Dr. P. Some P doctor.
And the chicken she wanted earlier in the arc.
Oh, wow. All from a place called Cali.
Calle.
Calle.
Calle. It says
Spanish
street.
elf.
It says street. I don't know why.
I don't know. It could be anything. Legally distinct cup noodles that have the same design but say curry on them.
Yum. I want that pizza.
I don't.
I do.
Why?
Because they're delicious.
You know what'll happen.
They will hurt me when I eat them, but they're delicious. Chris-chan boils some water, adds it to each cup, then hands one over to Mayushi. While she does this, I open up the bags of chow-down chicken and other snacks, lining them up on the floor. Okay, cheers to our first ever sleepover. Cheers. We raise our glasses of Dr. P and we drink them down in a flash.
The drink of mad scientists everywhere.
Ah, so good.
You're officially a mad scientist now, Mayuri. She's officially become one now that she's drunk the soda, as it were.
Mayuri, you're acting like an old man. I've got a grunt. I live for this stuff, or something like that, right? That's what my dad says.
Oh, no, that's the stuff.
Oh, Mayuri. Chris-chan laughs as she slurps her cup noodles with a fork. It's a huge weight off my shoulders to finally see her smile, and that she has a fork. She always had the aura of someone who was short one piece of silverware.
Finally, I am complete.
I will now sing the song that ends this world line. Somehow I feel like this tastes even better than usual. Right? Well, we were hungry. I just now checked my cell phone. Mayuri, were you really trying to get a hold of me since late this afternoon? I'm so sorry I didn't realize. No problem. All's well that ends well, right? And if I weren't looking for you, we wouldn't have been able to have this sleepover. True. In the end, I think everything happens at the times it's meant to happen. Coming from all people.
Oh no, Mayuri.
Oh no.
Of all people. That's rough.
Fatalism, huh? If something bad happens, it might make us depressed at the time, but if we look back on it later, lots of good things might have come out of it. I personally don't agree with fatalism. I don't believe that the future is determined. It's ours to seize. If the future is predetermined and unchangeable, that would repudiate science itself. Chris-chan stops eating her cup noodles and continues speaking, half to herself. Science has changed the world, it's changed the future. The developments of the 20th century were particularly remarkable as they've granted many of mankind's dreams and desires. The phone wave has limitless possibilities. I don't want to repudiate its potential. But I've been thinking lately, what if the future that I thought I had seized for myself was actually predetermined? I don't want to accept that. What if, in the end, regardless of how much I try to change the future, everything converges to the same end point? That's difficult. It is, isn't it? A very difficult problem. Only a saint would be able to accept the fact that everything is fated, and I'm no saint. Normal people can't help but to want to choose a future where their loved ones are happy. I get that, but... Chris-chan seems unable to find her next words and falls silent. Chris-chan? it looked as if her eyes were tearing up, so I panicked and shoved a piece of chow down chicken into her mouth. That's a good face. Get me that face, stat.
Hold on. I don't know if that worked or not. But if I just...
Yeah, it'll be
there
fine.
We go. Here we go.
It'll be fine.
There you go.
Whoa,
oh, no! It kicked us out. Okay, there we go.
I need that face, but I need it Photoshop stretched horizontally about 10 to 20% to reach true perfection.
I'll deliver you the raw. You can do what you want from there.
The food will only taste half as good if we eat while talking about bad stuff. You're right, and there's no way for us to find out the answer to this question either. Besides, I don't really want to debate with you, Mairi.
Cat face?
I'll lose the debate.
Wait, why?
I don't have a counter technique to being fed chicken. It's the one move they don't teach you in debate class. It's unstoppable. No one's found a counter yet.
What about spitting out the chicken?
That would be a waste. So, what are we supposed to talk about at sleepovers? I've never really had the chance to have one. Well, this is a girl sleepover, so we should have some girl talk, don't you think? Girl talk? What is that?
Back. It's back.
Smug Mayushi. We just talk about things that we don't usually talk about. We get to know each other better and become better friends. Things we usually don't talk about. Sometimes when I have sleepovers with Fubuki-chan and my other friends, we talk about shocking stuff, like what unusual ships we secretly like. It's really fun.
Kaede fuming she doesn't get the name drop.
Okay, but I'm imagining they're actually talking about ships.
I'm a huge fan of the Santa Maria.
I know it's problematic, Fave and all.
Don't get me started on the gigantic.
I see. You don't need to think too much about it. Whether you have a problem or want to talk about a crush, Mayushi's ready for anything, Chris-chan. I clap my hands once and then stretch out my arms toward her. This is all so sudden. She crosses her arms and seems to get lost in thought again. My problems. Right. I don't think revealing your weaknesses to someone is such a great idea, though. Really? For Mayushi, talking to someone can sometimes help solve the problem.
Pretend I'm a rubber duck.
I often pretend I'm a rubber duck when I have problems, and that works pretty well, too. Well, I guess that makes some sense. I think it's just that until now I've always been surrounded by people I can't show any weakness in front of. Including my parents. Chris-chan. But you're different, Mairi. But Mayushi, you're built different. It sounds embarrassing when you put it that way. Maybe you're right. You seem to get along with your father, Mairi, so maybe listening to your advice might help. Are you having a problem with your dad? Well, yes, among many other things. Where do I even begin? One problem at a time is just fine. Ferris-chan already told me a little about your dad. She's really worried about you, too. She is? I can't believe I let my anger out on her like that. What a terrible thing to do. She says she can't leave you be, Chris-chan. Does she? Ferris-san really is a good person. Yeah, Ferris-chan's a great person. She was worried that she accidentally got you angry, too. It wasn't her. She didn't do anything wrong. My father hates me, but Ferris-san told me that I shouldn't leave it at that I should try to mend our relationship. So I phoned my father and tried to do so. Of course, he rejected my attempts right away. Hold on, isn't girl talk supposed to be more, positive and not this serious? No, it's fine. Anything goes, remember? Right. It's just, this sort of thing embarrasses me a bit, gets me nervous. It's gonna take some getting used to. Do you think you can keep going? Well, sure. After the call, I got flustered and ran out, but now I really regret doing that. Chris-chan, you love your dad, don't you? I hate that man. But if that were true, you wouldn't have been shocked when he rejected you, right? Even if you can't get your feelings across right now, if you keep showing him you love him, slowly but surely, I think he'll come to understand. You can send him letters or texts or whatever. It'll end the same way it always does. He'll just reject me. But why don't you try showing him anyway? That's impossible. I don't have the time anymore. Don't have the time. Those words take me by surprise. I'm sorry, Mayuri. I know it's unlike me to act this way, but it's just out of my control. No, it's okay to be frustrated. Don't worry about it. Something really must be wrong with me if I'm taking my anger out on you. There's just been so much going on lately, and I think I'm at my limit. Brushing her bangs out of her face, Chris-chan sighs deeply. I thought my brain had better specs, but nope, I'm over capacity. Shouldn't have skipped that last RAM upgrade. And I'm just so ashamed of myself that it's getting the better of me. If only people's souls had some perfect answer like mathematical equations. All these illogical emotions are running loose in me and nothing makes any sense. These stupid thoughts are just racing through my brain. It makes me wish I could just perform a lobotomy on myself.
God damn it, Kurisu, you've got... Stop coming for me like this, please. How do you explain to her, like, you think you've got major depression or some kind of anxiety thing going on?
This arc of Linear Bounded Phenogram is literally just every major character has debilitating depression and doesn't want to talk about it or address it directly.
I know!
Ocarine does, Mayushi does, Kurisu does.
What the hell? I
I
didn't play this game for sad times.
Mayushi doesn't really understand what you're saying about specs and Lobo somethings, although wolves are cool. But are you saying your head's jumbled up with worries and problems, Chris-chan? Basically. Mayushi feels the same sometimes. You're not alone, Chris-chan. It happens to everyone. But, Mayuri, unlike me, you're always smiling. Everyone loves you. It seems like you never hate yourself. Ha! Joke's on you.
You can fit so much self-hatred in this machine. Boop, boop.
I just have to hate myself enough to balance out how much everyone else likes me.
I don't think that's how it works. No, Meyer.
No, that's not true at all. For Mayushi, it happens when I can't help the people who are important to me, or when I feel like I'm a burden on them. People who are important to you, huh? Yep. And by that, you mean him, don't you?
Must be the weather.
It's not just Okarin. You're important to me too, Chris-chan. Mayuri. If I'm going to ask, now's the time. Determined, I take a deep breath and ask.
Do you like me, YN?
Hey, is Mayushi a heavy burden for you too? Where did that come from? Of course you're not a burden. Are you sure? I thought maybe I was causing you and Okarin some sort of problem. That's my biggest worry right now. Did he say something to you? No, Okarin didn't tell me anything. But I thought about it a lot, and that was my conclusion. I see. I'm guessing you know what Okarin's concerned about right now, huh, Chris-chan? Well, I wonder if Okarin won't tell Mayushi because I'm useless to him. No, that's absolutely not true. It's because he treasures you more than anyone else, Mayuri. He doesn't want to hurt you. He wants to protect you. Chris-chan? Mayuri, make no mistake of that, or else all of his efforts will go to waste. I mean, not that I care if his efforts go to waste or not, since he's basically the king of idiots.
Convincing.
He's so stupid. It drives me nuts. Her words are sharp, but at the same time, they're also very kind. Just like Okarin. Chris-chan, you and Okarin are a lot alike. Huh? No way. Mayuri, listen carefully. You're telling me that I'm basically the same as that ignorant idiot. That really hurts, you know? But I really think you are alike. You'd suit each other well, you know? Are you kidding me? Me and him? Never ever. Impossible. Really? Who would ever? That Chunibyo.
Have you seen the OVA yet?
In spite of her words, Chris-chan's cheeks flush red. I guess she's not a very good liar either. Plus, it seems like effectively everybody who sets foot in the lab has a crush on Okarin, including Daru. I overheard them that one time.
Hey, Okabe's the only one I let in my butt.
Mayuri, you're much more suited to, you've known each other for so long, and,
He's also the only one that canonically ends up with someone else, so just saying.
Okarin is like an older brother to Mayushi. That's all it is, so, with each word, it becomes harder and harder to keep speaking. Noticing Mayushi's expression, Chris-chan lightly pulled on my cheek. Method act?
Meth act is what you just asked me to do?
I said method act.
You said meth act.
I said method act.
Yeah, I think the
Roll the
recording
tape.
Hey, my name's Vivid. I say meth act. That's what it says.
Okay.
Right,
it's incontrovertible.
Yeah.
That's what I said. Sound off in the comments.
Wow. I'm just as impressed by the tape as anyone else.
Mayuri, it's obvious that you're straining yourself. Girl talk is about sharing things we usually don't talk about, right? So you can be honest, and I'll be honest too. Okay. We look each other in the eye and nod. Mayuri, you like Okabe, don't you? I can't hide from Chris-chan's intense gaze. Yes.
Ugh. I should go get something for this cold. Ugh.
But I know that Okarin likes you, Chris-chan. Why would you say that? I can see it. Since Mayushi is Okarin's hostage, I've always seen Okarin up close. I can tell. Okay, so it's your turn, Chris-chan. Be honest. Do you like Okarin? YN? I hate that idiot. But today he said something unnecessary, and it's confusing me, that's all. Chris-chan puts her hands to her mouth and shakes her head. I swear. Sorry, it's just things are so confusing. I must sound totally incoherent right now. No, it's okay. I understand. Keep going. You're doing great. Okay. All right. Mayuri, just because it's you, I'll be honest.
Got him.
She takes several deep breaths before letting out her breath and saying, The thing is, Okabe confessed to me earlier. For a second, my mind goes blank. I open my mouth to try and say something, but I'm lost for words. After a while, when I could finally manage to say something, I was surprised at how dumb I sounded. Oh, really? This is a lot like when Grandma died. I don't feel any bitterness or sadness at all, but it feels like there's a gaping hole in my heart. But that must have been some mistake. He's going after the wrong person. How could he be so dumb? Chris-chan is angry for Mayushi, but Okarin didn't make a mistake at all. I can tell. That's not true, Chris-chan. But Mayuri, you're more important to him than anyone else. That's why even if he wears himself out, he never gave up on saving you. And he found a way to do it, Mayuri, but Okarin is going to save me? Chris-chan realizes she's said too much and clamps her mouth shut. But it's too late. I have already extracted their secrets using the power of girl talk.
Who would get more information out of
match
someone?
For me.
Who would get more information out of someone? Mayuri or Harry Disco Elysium?
Oh, now I'm imagining Mayushi getting a hold of the horrible necktie. Geez, there really must be something wrong with me right now. I'm sorry, Mayuri. I can't say anything more. No, tell me. But please, Chris-chan, Mayushi wants to know about everything. Everything you're trying to keep away from me. I look into her eyes and plead. But Okabe and I don't want to hurt you. And more than that, I don't want you to go through the same thing I did. Oh, I got the voices wrong. But Okabe and I don't want to hurt you, and more than that, I don't want you to go through the same thing I did. I don't care if it hurts, just please tell me. If you and Okarin are hurting, I don't want to be unhurt. It's not fair. I want to be the same as you, whether we're happy or sad. Mayuri. Chris-chan clenches her fists and silently stares at the floor. All I can do is look at her and pray. After some time, she raises her head and looks at me. Mayuri, are you sure you won't regret this? I'm sure. It's okay. I'm ready for anything. Yeah, so you're the same as me then. Mm-hmm. In that case, I should tell you, just like Okabe told me, it's not fair to stay quiet. Besides, there's no point hiding it now. Oh, okay, I'll tell you. Thank you, Chris-chan.
Surprise! Everyone come on out! Happy birthday, Mayuri!
Chris-chan stares into my eyes. I can feel the tension. Everything falls silent. Because of the changing world lines, if things continue as they are, Mayuri, you're going to die. Uh-huh. In order to find a way to avoid your death, Okabe's been repeatedly performing time leaps. I warned him that they were still unstable and dangerous, but he's done anything and everything to find a future where you can be saved. No way. I remembered the nightmares I've been having lately and gasped. I've been having nightmares lately. In each one, I've been about to die, but every time, Okarin would come and try to save me. But in the end, Mayushi dies anyway. Could it be that those weren't really dreams? I can't completely rule that out. Every time Okabe does a time leap, the past is overwritten. The previous pasts could remain with you as dreams. Oh, so they weren't dreams after all. Okabe theorized that by getting rid of all the D-mails we sent, the original reason we changed world lines, we could return to our original world line. That's why he's been doing the time leaps. I think that theory is correct, and there's only one D-mail to get rid of now. We're one move from checkmate. I don't fully understand what Chris-chan is saying, but I think hard. So Okarin is trying to get back to the world line before D-mails existed in order to save Mayushi. And thanks to him, we're almost back to normal? Yes, but then Okabe realized something. That in the original world line, I died 2 weeks ago. Huh? For a moment, I couldn't understand what she said. No, that's not right. I think I didn't want to understand. I can't believe that. I don't want to believe that. That has to be a mistake. Okarin wore himself out trying to get back to the original world line. But in the original world line, Chris-chan is already dead. That's horrible. Too horrible. Mayuri, do you remember Okabe rambling about me getting killed at Rarikan? I remember, but I thought it was Okarin just making things up like always. I did too, but it wasn't. That was likely a real event in the original world line. In the original world line, on that day, on July 28th, I died. So if we go back to the original world line, what happens to you? Chris-chan crosses her arms and laughs bitterly. It's probably impossible for a dead person to come back. I've never thought about the afterlife or anything before, but I'll probably disappear from the world. I can't stop shaking. I said I was prepared for the truth, but I can't accept that you're going to disappear. There must be. I'm sure there's another way. Chris-chan shakes her head quietly, as if to cut me off. I racked my brains for every possible option, but they all lead to the same place. If we don't return to the original world line, you die. If we do return, I die. No matter what. That's right. Okabe tried desperately to find a way to save both of us, pushing himself to leap through time again and again. But all to no avail. That can't be. Returning to the original world line is one thing, but trying to find a different world line it's reckless. The world isn't that convenient. At this rate, Okabe is going to destroy himself. Honestly, he's already halfway there. It only makes sense. He's seen someone important to him die over and over again. How could we tell him to stay normal? It's honestly surprising that he hasn't gone mad already. He has by this point, in fact.
Yeah, he
has. Just got
and-
better.
It's just, he's been mad for so long he came out the other side of it.
I had no idea that Ocarine was so close to his breaking point. Both Ocarine and Chris-chan. I had no idea they'd suffered so much because of me. I felt so sorry that I didn't even have the words to begin to express it. This might sound cruel, but continuing with the time leaps, even though we already have the answer, is nothing more than escapism. And if the fatalism you believe in is true, Mayuri, the world line where I'm dead is the real and fated one. So I convinced Okabe that he should save you, Mayuri. He wouldn't listen at first, but in the end, he agreed. Watching her speak with such a detached tone made me feel as if she might disappear at any moment. I rushed toward Chris-chan and wrapped her body in a tight embrace. No, you can't. You can't. Mayuri. I'm sorry, Chris-chan. Mayushi didn't know anything. Even now, I said something horrible to you. A world where you have to die. I don't want that fate. I don't want it. But that's the right one, Mayuri. Please try to understand. She pats Mayushi's head softly, as if calming down a child. I don't care if it's right or not. I don't want a future without you, Chris-chan. I'd do whatever it takes to change it. Both you and Ocarine had to suffer so much. But Mayushi, I had no idea. I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. Why are you the one apologizing? I'm the one that kept this from you. I don't want to betray you. I don't want you hating me. I want you to stay smiling, Mayuri. That's why I... Chris-chan, you've never betrayed Mayushi. I always thought a day like this might come. What are you... You supported Ocarine when he was at his worst, right? I didn't intend to do that, but he's just so dumb. I couldn't leave him to suffer alone. Of course you'd fall in love with someone who helped you at your worst. Mayushi was the same. When I spoke those words, I finally realized just how much I really liked Ocarine. But I'm not the one who can make Ocarine happy. It's you, Chris-chan. So don't worry about Mayushi. Just take good care of Ocarine. I bow my head and think to myself, I'm acting like Okarine's mother or something. Don't ask that of me. I'll only let you down. I've already decided to return to America, so I can't take care of him. Huh? Really? When? I snap my head up to see her looking into the distance with a pained expression. Tomorrow? Well, no, I guess it's today now. I don't know the exact time, but I'm planning to leave Japan. Was that your plan for today? That's so soon. Why? I thought it out, and relatively speaking, that's the best option. Does Ocarine know about this? He does. Then... This is the conclusion Okabe and I came to. I don't intend to change my mind. Okabe's done as much as he can. He's done so much. He's also promised never to forget me. For me, that's enough. So please, you have to understand, Mayuri. My tears start to blur my view of her pained smile. No way, I don't want to understand. Mayushi doesn't want to live if you have to pay the price. I feel the same. We exchange glares, neither of us willing to give in to the other. I'm astounded by the way Christian's eyes burn with determination. Her will seems unchangeable. But Mayushi has a trump card. It's one that I'd rather not use. But if there is no other way, I'll have to. Slowly and quietly, I make up my mind. Chris-chan, do you believe in fated relationships? Fated relationships. If you have a fated relationship with someone, no matter what happens, no matter what world you're in, you're somehow sure to meet. That's what Mayushi's grandma said.
Fationship.
I see. There's absolutely no scientific merit to that, but right now I'd like to believe it. Mayushi wants to believe it too. If two people want to meet, something will draw them together. So as long as they're alive, they can meet again. I say this to convince myself. Then I smile at Chris-chan. So I won't give up yet. Because I haven't done anything yet. I don't want to give up before I try something. I'd regret it too much if I did. Mayuri, I'm grateful for the way you feel, but we have an answer. Even Okabe, who can perceive the changes in world lines, couldn't do anything. It's impossible for the two of us. I thought of every possibility, and there's nothing we can do. We're out of luck. We can't just will a miracle into being. Chris-chan, maybe Mayushi's final trump card isn't a trump card at all. Maybe it's useless. It's all useless. But still, I don't want to give up before I try. My feelings won't change. It might be impossible. It might be useless, but I need to try. Mayuri, did you just say some... No, it's nothing. Oh. Things suddenly feel awkward between us, and I have no idea what to say. Hey, let's stop with the heavy stuff. Right now, every minute and second we have is precious. I want to treasure them. Yeah. I don't know when Okabe plans to return to the original world line, but I'm glad I was able to keep my promise to you. Thank you, Chris-chan. No, thank you. So, what should we talk about? Let's see. Maybe a story that'll make us laugh really hard. Well, maybe I'll share one of Mayushi's best ones. A thrilling and embarrassing Okarin legend. What sort of dirt do you have on him? Tell me. It was back when Okarin was in his second year of junior high.
Ugh. Daru, do you have the sniffles tonight, or is it just me? I'm gonna lay down.
Yes? Chris-chan leans forward, eyes sparkling. I want to see more and more of her smiles. So I dig up my funniest memories and start telling her. Is that true? Okabe's Chunibyo was even worse in junior high then. I didn't know that was even possible. It's true. There was a time when he came to school with his right hand wrapped in bandages that he drew a weird symbol on. He wasn't hurt or anything, so I thought it was super odd.
Yeah.
Oh, don't tell me. I bet he said something like,
"The seal on my right hand cries out in pain."
Exactly like that. Yeah, exactly. And then, when we're talking like this, it feels like the clock isn't counting down until the time Chris-chan disappears. But it is. I feel really impatient, like I need to do something, but I can't do anything until the morning. So right now, I'm just going to keep talking, because I want to grant Chris-chan's wish to treasure every minute each second. After laughing and talking with Chris-chan all night, we said our goodbyes because she needed to pack for her trip. We promised to keep in touch even when she returns to America. Leaving the hotel in Ochanomizu, I returned to Akiba and went to the lab. I don't know when she'll disappear. I can't help but quicken my pace. I look at the time. It's right before 10 o'clock. Just a little longer. Wait for me, Chris-chan. No longer able to contain myself, I start running. I've arrived in front of the lab. I make sure that the brown tube workshop is open before I look up to the lab. Right then I notice a figure on the roof. A familiar white lab coat flutters in the wind. Okarine. Okarine is gazing at the sky, probably thinking about something. He hasn't noticed Mayushi yet. Okarine, I'll give it my all, too.
Sometimes I just like to stand on roofs and look very, very contemplative and brooding.
I climb up the stairs, making sure Okarine doesn't notice. The door is unlocked. I slide inside the lab. The empty lab was unusually quiet. The rays of the morning sun were softly shining into the room. I think back to when Okarine and Mayushi were the only lab mems. Once, during a nighttime typhoon, the lab completely lost its power. But by the next morning, the typhoon had passed and everything was really peaceful, like right now, but I remember feeling a little disappointed. I felt like there was no point in being so scared the night before. Okarine made me feel better that time, too. The sound of the wind and rain was so overwhelming that I was terrified the old building might collapse at any second. And just as always, Okarine would put on his dramatic voice and make me feel better. I think he said something like,
"This must be an act of sabotage by the organization, but I, Hoenn Kiyoma, refuse to be phased."
How nostalgic. All the stuff about the organization and sabotage was made up by Okarine.
Do.
Just kids making things up. It was so much fun. I'd never thought it could be real. My nightmares each night weren't really nightmares. They were like fragments of memories of Okarine fighting to save Mayushi. The moment I remembered a scene where I was surrounded by scary people with guns, I felt a piercing pain in my head. I need to change things. Like Chris-chan said, it might be impossible to make a miracle happen. But it's better than not doing anything and regretting it later. I stumbled toward the development room in the back. The computer in there was turned on. I just phoned Daru-kun and he'd taught me the method. It's a little difficult, but it's okay. It'll be all right, I think. Punch in Mayushi's cell phone number and set the time to last afternoon, after I noticed that my phone was dead and recharged it. Then, with trembling hands, I set the headgear on my head. I'm scared. Chris-chan said that time leaps could be dangerous, but I have no idea what's going to happen. Okarine, you've done a lot of scary things for Mayushi, haven't you? I want to cry, but this isn't the time for tears. I'm sorry, Okarine.
What is she trying to accomplish by doing this?
All I have to do is turn on the machine and call the phone wave. I take slow, deep breaths. It's okay, nothing to be scared of. I'm not afraid. I convince myself and put my thumb on the call button of my phone. But then,
Anyway, I could have sworn I left a good doctor pee. Oh my god, is someone there?
With the sound of the door slamming open, I hear Okarin's sharp voice pierce the lab. Okarin.
Myri?
Seeing Okarin running straight for me, I hurry to turn on the machine. The next moment, a blue-white light flashes. The bright light shines brighter and brighter, and I feel the ground shaking. My head hurts. I feel like it's going to break. I can't stand up straight anymore, and I hunch over.
Myri! Myri, what are you doing?
I'm sorry, Okarin. Mayushi can't give up. Trembling, I push the call button.
Phone wave-chan.
Silly hat phone wave-chan. My vision violently distorts. The pain and nausea is so bad that it feels like my brain is being cut up into pieces.
Myri, stop!
Okarin's horrified face closes in on me. Everything moves in slow motion. He grabs my wrists with an unbelievably strong grip. Okarin tries to rip the headgear off my head with all his might. Struggling, I desperately try to keep it on. Don't stop me. Please, let Mayushi go. Okarin! Just as I shout, the world cracks, and the crack spreads out all around. Everything around me explodes into dust. And then I see this cool CG where the clock counts backwards. Pretty convenient how time travel does that.
Time travel always does that. That's just how it works. What is she trying to accomplish, though?
Yeah, I wonder. The inside of my head is scrambled. No, it's not just inside my head. My vision and everything else is all scrambled too. It feels awful. My head really hurts and my ears are ringing. I cover my mouth, then crouch down holding my head. It feels like someone's sticking a fork into my brain. I want to escape from this overwhelmingly sharp pain, but there's no way to stop it. But between the pain, there's a faint feeling of pleasure mixed in, and I want to cling to that. Bit by bit, the pain subsides. I hear a phone ringing somewhere. Where? Whose is it? Afraid, I open my eyes, and the familiar sight of my room jumps out at me. That's weird. I could have sworn I was in the lab, so why am I here? There's a cell phone on the floor. I sluggishly pick up the phone and answer it. Hello?
Is the signal bad there, Nya? The call got disconnected.
Ferris-chan? What's going on? What was I doing?
Mayushi, is something wrong, Nya?
Well, Mayushi doesn't really understand. Was I just on the phone with you, Ferris-chan?
That's right, Nya. We were talking about Kunyan.
Kunyan.
But you got another call while we were talking, so you put our call on hold and answered that one, Nya.
Oh, okay. My memories aren't clear.
It made Kunyan mad. That's what we were talking about, Nya.
No, that's wrong. Chris-chan sent me a message asking me to let you know she's sorry. I get a strange feeling like I've said the same thing over and over. Why? There shouldn't be anything strange about it, but I feel like something's off.
But
I can't get in touch with her right now, but I'll do something to contact her. I can't contact her? That's strange. I should have already contacted her. No, that's wrong. I tried calling her, but Chris-chan wouldn't answer her phone. I'm worried about her. No, Chris-chan is fine. Which is it? The back of my head starts throbbing and the pain makes me feel sick.
Mayushi, what's wrong? Are you okay, Nya?
Yeah, it's nothing. I just have a little headache. Sorry.
Don't push yourself too hard, Nya. You might be still tired from Komima.
Yeah, probably.
Anyway, I'll try thinking about things I could do for Kunyan.
Thanks. See you later. You're being weird, Mayushi. I hang up the phone and absent-mindedly stare into space. I couldn't get a hold of Chris-chan. I looked all over Akiba and found her on the overpass. I knew it. Something strange. I'm supposed to go and look for Chris-chan now. So why do I think Mayushi found her already? Is this what people call déjà vu? Or a premonition? Something's weird. What's going on? The moment after I tilt my head in confusion, a white light bursts inside my head. The pain that I thought had gone away comes rushing back. No, an even more intense pain pierces through my brain, along with the unpleasant feeling that the inside of my head is being stirred around. Events that shouldn't have happened yet come flooding into my mind. The inside of my head is filled up with all sorts of memories and feelings. It feels like it's about to explode. The reason why Mayushi is such a burden on Chris-chan and Okarin. The painful future that Chris-chan told me about. Jumping back into the past with Time Leap to try to change that future. I remember it all. This is a time leap. My headache finally subsides and I take a deep breath. I didn't know time leaps were such painful, agonizing things. Okarin suffered this pain countless times for Mayushi. Imagining the pain that he went through makes me want to cry. I definitely need to end this. I wipe my tears and raise my head. And there's only one way I can, even if I don't know if it'll go well or not. Mayushi needs to do it. I take my diary and blue upa off of my desk, put them in my bag, and nod.
These are the essentials.
I'll ask Daru-kun for help. The magic of Time Leap is I can keep calling in that favor.
Hello?
Hello, Daru-kun. It's Mayushi. What are you doing right now?
Just goofing off in the lab, but I was torn between whether to go to a net cafe or go to see Ferriston after that.
Why not do both?
Whoa, I was just thinking the same thing. All right, I better strike while the iron is hot. I'll head out right now.
Right now? You seem pretty energetic today, Daru-kun.
Of course, to tell you the truth, I snagged a Hayate the Fighting Butler doujinshi at Komima, and it was godlike. Got me real fired up.
Who doesn't love Hayate the Fighting Butler?
I feel like spending the night at a net cafe and marathoning through the entire original manga.
So does that mean you'll be in Akiba all day today?
Hell yeah.
Then I have a little request. Is it okay?
Does this have something to do with what you mentioned a little while back?
Yeah, that's right. Today, around 9 at night. Can you make it so I can send a D-mail?
D-mail? Why?
There's an important D-mail I need to send, no matter what.
And you said you wanted me to keep it a secret from Okarin, right?
Yeah, is that no good? I think it's a strange request myself. I wouldn't be surprised if he was suspicious. What if he starts questioning me about it? I've never been very good at telling lies, so I'm not sure I'd be able to convince him.
Got it. I'll make preparations.
What?
Why are you so shocked?
Because, I thought you would ask for a reason why I want to send it or what it was about. I'm a little surprised.
Do you want me to ask?
No.
Then I won't.
I see. Thanks, Daru-kun.
Daru knows how to call in the favors. He's like, no, I get it. No questions asked. Don't worry about me.
Okay, I'll have it on standby from 10 minutes before 9.
Thank you. Then I'll see you later. I'm really grateful to have a friend who trusts me. I seriously think this as I hang up the phone.
Having to remind us that it's serious as we're talking about Daru.
All that's left is for Mayushi to get ready. I slap my cheeks with both hands to psych myself up. I'll probably get home late today, but I already told Mom not to worry because we're all holding a farewell party for Chris-chan at the lab. That part is a lie. Every time I tell a lie, I get this overwhelming urge to say sorry, so I really don't like doing it. But there are times when you have to lie, no matter what. I tell myself that now is one of those times to try to quiet my apologetic feeling. Perhaps because there's nobody in the lab, the ticking of the clock seems really loud. In my hand is future gadget number 1, the pit something gun. The name Okarin gave it is too difficult, so I can't remember it no matter how many times I hear it. Why does he always choose such complicated names? I get that he thinks they're cool, but they're too much trouble to remember. Can I just call this Pit-chan? I hold Pit-chan by the side of the door and lie in wait for Okarin.
What?
I hear the sound of sluggish, dragging footsteps. I instantly know they're Okarin's. My heart starts racing and my hand gripping Pit-chan gets sweaty. When the door opens, I press Pit-chan against Okarin and say the line I had practiced over and over. Okarin, put your hands up.
That's how I feel right now, Okarin.
I wanted to say it as cool as I could, but I was so nervous I ended up stuttering.
Mayuri?
Okarin raises an eyebrow and looks at me like,
What are you doing?
I'm really embarrassed and start to feel disheartened, but I can't afford to mess up right now. I ready Pit-chan again, sharply glare at Okarin, and say it again. Okarin, put your hands up.
My hands? Why?
Okarin looks at the palms of his hands and casually cocks his head. He's not nervous at all. Just do it, Okarin. Put your hands up like you're giving a cheer. Okay, banzai.
Like this? Banzai.
Okarin raises his hands like it's really annoying.
Banzai.
For a while, we look each other in the eyes without moving. As always, he doesn't look nervous at all. This scene should be more tense than this. It's weird. Where did I go wrong? I don't think banzai is quite the right mood I'm going for.
You're a little late on the uptake there. So, what do I need to do next? I don't have time to play around right now.
Sorry, Ocarine, but you're going to be Mayushi's hostage now.
What? I'm your hostage? The hostage of a hostage? What is the meaning of this?
Mayushi can't stay your hostage forever, Ocarine. I try saying it with an exaggerated performance, like Ocarine always does.
Is she trying to be Ocarine to give Ocarine the energy he needs to keep being him?
Yeah.
Oh, that's kind of adorable, actually.
I realize that if you say something like it's a joke, you can say things that you normally wouldn't be able to.
Oh no, this is bad knowledge for Mayuri to have.
That reminds me, Fubuki and the others told me something like that before. When you cosplay, you can become someone different. It somehow becomes possible to do things you normally can't. Maybe this is similar. This must be how Ocarine feels.
Mayuri, what's wrong? You aren't acting like yourself. Why are you suddenly doing this?
It's not sudden. I've been thinking about this for a long time. But I was always holding back. Anyway, don't ask any questions and be Mayushi's hostage, just for a little while. Please, Ocarine. Ocarine strokes his chin and gives me a look of doubt.
Pressing X here.
But his expression suddenly softens into a sad smile.
Mayuri, you need to say that in a more commanding way or it won't sound right.
Oh, I guess so. Then let me try that again. I take a deep breath, put some strength into my belly, and try to say it in a commanding way. Ocarine, become Mayushi's hostage. That still doesn't sound quite right, but Ocarine plays along for me.
Huh. A hostage rebellion? What a brazen act of defiance. Very well. Ho and Kiyoma, accept your terms.
His smile seems kind of fake and stiff. I'm sure he's forcing himself to go along with me. But if he doesn't do this, it'll be too painful to watch. Thanks, Ocarine, and sorry. I bow my head, and Ocarine sighs in astonishment, then gently pats my head.
Ah, sheesh, what kind of ruffian thinks they're hostage, huh?
Mayushi isn't rough. Right when I timidly objected to Ocarine, my stomach growls.
Ha ha ha! Smug Okabe! Well, that was an awkward spot for a recording break.
Oh, why now? The timing is so bad. I feel like my face is going to catch fire.
Mayuri, are you alright? Do you need me to get the inflammable blanket for your face? Good grief. And you call yourself a rebel.
Ocarine pats my head again.
Ah, silly hostage.
I always liked it when Ocarine would pat my head or tousle my hair.
I'm tousling your hair right now. Tousle.
But that needs to end, too. Just thinking about it makes me want to cry. But I can't help it. Mayushi was always Okarine's hostage. I'm not used to being a rebel.
And with a rebel yell, she cried, more. What's going on? Your eyes are tearing up. Are you really that hungry?
That's not it. Ocarine looks troubled and confused, but he still smiles at me so kindly. I can't look directly at him. I desperately look up at the ceiling to keep my tears from spilling down.
Still, that's quite a coincidence. I haven't eaten dinner yet either.
Huh?
It's been a while. It's been a while since you looked at me. What do you say we get something to eat, just the two of us?
Ocarine is as kind as ever.
It's really weird that there's no music during this section, but, we take those.
I think he's trying to be considerate since I'm acting so suspiciously. Sure.
Then how about you give me the order, like a proper rebel?
Yeah, I can do that. I nod, compose myself, and give Okarin my order. Then, Okarin, take Mayushi to Kitchen Jiro.
Well, all right then. Let's go.
Okay. Okarin puts his hand in his coat pocket and goes out the door. I hurry after him. Things didn't go quite according to plan, but I still have time. I can take a little detour like this, right? It's right around dinner time, so Kitchen Jiro is pretty crowded. We had to wait in line for a while, then finally got seated at the counter.
New background. We've never seen this one before. Huh. And then I said it was this big. And Daro told me that was disgusting, but I don't know. I've heard him talk about bigger, if you know what I mean.
As soon as we're settled in, we order our usual without even looking at the menu. I'm having menchi katsu rice. I didn't know they could cook my menchis. Okarin is having curry with 2 pieces of menchi katsu as toppings. He calls his concoction
Mad Menchi Katsu Curry. The curry choice of mad scientists everywhere.
Seeing that our favorite orders haven't changed makes me really happy.
Meyer, you got this big smile on your face. What's going on? You're acting even stranger than usual today.
I don't know really. Just sitting here with you waiting for our usual order is making me really happy. I mean it.
So happiness can be bought for less than 1,000 yen. You really are easy to please.
Juicy chicken number 1, bananas, and chow down chicken make me plenty happy too.
Remember when you could buy a whole meal, a dinner meal, for less than $10? Remember those days? I do. And those are even cheaper.
Yep. We were awkward with each other before coming to Kitchen Jiro, but we're at our usual shop, getting our usual order. Our usual, typical conversation feels so comfortable to me. Days like these make all the bad stuff seem like a dream. I feel like these never-changing days will continue tomorrow, the day after, and forever after that. I wish they would.
What? Did you say something?
Nope, it's nothing.
All right. Well, then, as I was saying, he whipped it out at that point, and I was impressed with how large it was, but...
After waiting a little while, the staff brings us trays with our plates on them.
How about you, Meyer? You ever seen one that large? Your Komima haul, I mean.
My tray has menchi katsu, a little bigger than the palm of my hand, garnished with plenty of salad.
What did you think I was talking about?
It also comes with rice and pork miso soup, so there's a lot of food on that tray. Wow, it looks so good.
Of course it's good.
Okarin boasts as though he had made it himself. It feels like the usual Okarin is back, and that makes me really happy. Okarin has to be like this. Let's eat. I put my hands together and start by biting into the extra large menchi as usual. Hot. A lot of juice comes pouring out from inside the crispy fried menchi. The rich taste of meat and sweetness of onions fills my mouth. What is a menchi?
I don't know. Do you want me to look it up?
Sure. Delicious. I always smile when eating tasty food. And that smile makes me feel better.
Well, I'll tell you what it's not. It's not Menchi from Hunter x Hunter or Menchi from Excel Saga. Okay, here we go. Menchi katsu. Japanese breaded and deep fried ground meat patty, a fried meat cake.
Okay,
Sweet.
that makes sense.
Tasty.
Kitchen Jiro's menchikatsu really is amazing. As far as Mayushi's concerned, they'll always sit on the throne as king of meat.
Yeah, I vehemently agree. The very truth of this, it's the very truth of this world.
As always, Okarin pours 3 drops of soy sauce onto his menchi, then grins boldly.
Take this, gastronomy crash!
The next moment, Okarin starts stabbing the menchikatsu with his spoon and mixes it into the curry. Ah, Okarin, you made it into a mess again.
No, he just likes having the bites as he's eating the curry. That's a valid way of eating that kind of stuff. This is what puts the mad into mad menchikatsu curry. A mad scientist must eat like this. We're different from ordinary people after all. We aren't mediocre.
It just looks like a waste of menchikatsu to me.
Shut up, I like it. It's tasty. What are you talking about? This is the apex of dining experiences. One day you too shall understand. Until then, be satisfied with your innocuous routine order.
After saying this, Okarin opens his mouth wide and stuffs his cheeks with menchikatsu, curry, and rice all mixed together.
Delicious as ever.
You've mixed up your curry and eaten it like that since we were little, Okarin.
That's because I've been mad since childhood.
Huh? Really? I remember the moment Okarin became a mad scientist. It was a day with light rain. After my grandma died, I felt like there was a big hole in my heart. Then Okarin made me his hostage. He said that it seemed like I'd go off somewhere if he didn't. But because I'm his hostage, I'm not allowed to go anywhere.
Mayuri, you're spacing out. You're wide open.
Okarin, his cheeks still stuffed with menchikatsu curry, suddenly thrusts his spoon at my menchikatsu.
Critical hit.
Ah, that's Mayushi's.
See, that was your first mistake, leaving your food unattended. Where do you think I will do my science?
He stole a bite of my menchikatsu.
Unpreparedness is one's greatest foe. You let down your guard around your hostage and,
You're always like this, Okarin. A total menchikatsu thief. You already have 2 as toppings. Why are you taking mine too?
Science! Menchikatsu covered in curry is good, but I still want to taste a plain menchikatsu as well.
Then will you give me a bite of yours too?
Complain about the way I eat, and now you want some. Huh!
Yeah, it doesn't look good, but it might taste good.
Of course it tastes good. See for yourself, you non-believer.
Okarin uses his spoon to scoop up a bite of mad menchikatsu curry, then extends it toward my mouth. It seems like something a couple would do, so I start to feel embarrassed. Even though I feel nothing when I do it for customers at May Queen plus Nyan Squared. It's good.
As I've told you countless times, don't allow its grotesque appearance to fool you.
I thought mixing it with curry would take away the crispiness of the menchikatsu, but it didn't. It was still crispy and delicious.
Indeed, and is also highly efficient, allowing for the consumption of multiple favorite foods at once. It would be no exaggeration to say it is a well-considered, supremely balanced food. Do you see now that it's a fitting dinner for a mad scientist?
As Okarin starts lecturing, he quietly moves his spoon and scoops up more curry. It's not exactly romantic, but I feel warmth deep in my chest when I think about how we just shared an indirect kiss. We kissed back when we were kids, but we were just playing around. All of a sudden, I remember that clear as day. Why did I forget it until now? Hey, Do you ever remember something from the past out of the blue?
Past? No. Future? All the time. Kind of sucked, actually. Oh, what's this all of a sudden?
Well, I mean, it's normal to forget about stuff, but sometimes you remember things at a specific moment. I think it makes me feel at ease somehow.
What exactly did you recall?
That's a secret.
Well, come on. You can't just bring that up and not tell me.
Oh, Karin, do you still remember?
What, the 5th of November? Remember what exactly?
You know, back when we were kids, when we were playing around and kissed? Okarin starts choking. I'm sorry, Okarin. Are you okay?
As a rule, no.
I rub his back and hand him a tissue and glass of water. Okarin blows his nose into the tissue, then gulps down the water.
You can't surprise me with stuff that I've already completely forgotten about. Ha ha ha.
Okarin's as bad at lying as ever, and I feel a giggle coming on. I see, so you forgot. That's too bad.
You don't want any more menshikatsu stolen from you. You better quiet down and eat quick.
Okay. At Okarin's warning, I hurry to stuff my face with menshikatsu.
Otherwise, I'll do science on it.
Out of the corner of my eye, I see Okarin looking sour as he silently scoops at his curry. And I can't help but wish. If only this relaxed and carefree, happy time would continue forever. If I kept doing time leaps, it could. That strong temptation pulls at my heart.
Hey, Mayuri, you've stopped eating.
Oh, sorry. But that's no good. Chris-chan told me that repeating the same time over and over is nothing more than escapism. I think she's right. No matter how much it might hurt, we have to move forward. I'm scared that things could change, but they need to change.
So, Mayuri, how long do I need to remain your hostage for?
For the rest of the day?
Is there somewhere you want me to accompany you? A net cafe or to an anime song marathon at karaoke?
No, I don't really feel like any of those right now.
Then why did you take me hostage?
That's, Okarin suddenly asks me straight, and I'm lost for words. I immediately try copying Okarin's exaggerated speech. Mwahahaha. It's so you cooperate with Mayushi's scheme.
Is she trying to get Okarin to not confess to Kurisu?
I didn't take it that way. I figured that... Because she wants to send a D-mail tonight.
So she just wants to get him out of the way.
But also, I guess, enjoy the remaining time because the D-mail she plans to send, I guess she thinks is one that will change things irrevocably? Maybe.
Okay.
Is he suspicious? When I look at Okarin, he's pointing his index finger up and shaking his head side to side.
Disc. Your laugh is inadequate. I've never heard such a sad excuse for an evil laugh in my life. Mayuri, this is how a true villain laughs.
The other customers are startled by Okarin's sudden laughter. But Okarin pays no attention to his surroundings and keeps laughing his head off. At a glance, Okarin is no different from usual. However, it seems like empty cheer, or like he's forcing himself. Okarin always hides his true feelings with the mad scientist mask. I'm sorry, Okarin, but please endure it just a little longer. After filling our bellies at Kitchenjiro, we take a little walk around Akihabara as usual.
Anyway, Christina's was even larger than I expected. I was impressed. I had no idea a girl of her stature could pull such a large one.
After that, we get on the Yamanote line train.
Oh, the Garo froggies. Look at them. Look at all of them.
Our destination is Ikebukuro.
Okay, let's head Noah. Oh, the ad. Oh, now available on Switch.
Ah, that was good. It's been a while since I had menchikatsu rice. It was perfect.
Yeah, I'll say.
I always start feeling cheerful when I eat something good.
For sure.
But Ocarine, was it really okay for you to pay for me?
It won't kill me to cover you once in a while. Besides, I'm your hostage now, and you're always providing the lab with bananas.
I'm not really providing them. I buy them because I want to eat them, but you use them for your experiments.
Banana. Don't be stingy over mere bananas. Bananas.
But they're always jelly or mushy afterwards, so that's no good. You're desecrating them. You should value your food. Those bananas are turning in their graves.
Experiments require sacrifices, and such sacrifices have led to grand inventions. You should be proud of those bananas.
Mayushi would prefer to be able to eat them instead. It was supposed to be the usual trivial chat, but Ocarine turns gloomy at my words.
Well, you might be right.
The jokey atmosphere had completely disappeared and replaced by a serious one. Ocarine?
They say that curiosity killed the cat after all.
Ocarine smiles cynically and looks at me like he's in pain.
If someone's going to be destroyed, it should be the one responsible. I could accept suffering at one's own hands, but it's wrong for innocents to be caught in the crossfire.
There's torment in his eyes. Until Chris-chan told me, I had no idea why Ocarine would look at me like this once in a while. But now I know. Ocarine blames himself. Because he changed the world line, Mayushi's supposed to die. But Ocarine, Mayushi really likes the wonder in your eyes when you're working on Phone Wave-chan.
Really?
Yeah, you get so immersed you even forget to eat or sleep. I can feel your excitement just by watching you. I don't really get complicated stuff, but making costumes near you while you work makes it feel like I'm inventing great things with you. I think your over-the-top curiosity is actually a treasure.
Mayuri.
Okarine's pained face softens just a little bit. But just at that moment, the train arrives at Ueno Station and the doors open, flooding the train with a huge number of people.
Oh my god, look at all these people on the train that aren't drawn in the background.
Ah!
Whoa.
A big backpack pushes against my back, and I'm basically thrown forwards into Okarine's chest.
See, that gentleman over there had a large one. Mayuri, are you alright?
I'm fine.
You don't seem very fine. It must be tough being small at times like this. Can you breathe?
Somewhat. My face is planted against Okarine's belly, and it's hard to breathe.
Just hold on for a little while longer, alright?
Ocarine is trying to shield me from the people around us. Yeah. It's almost like he's embracing me. I'm stuck against Okarine's body, and my face gets hot. The train finally starts moving again. Every time the train sways, my face is pressed into Okarine's chest. His scent gives me a sense of relief, but also makes my heart race. I start to panic, since if we're stuck this closely together, Ocarine might feel my heart pounding.
So anyway, I was looking at Lucas the other day, and I was impressed. I didn't know she had it in her. Mayuri, if anyone tries anything weird, tell me right away, alright?
Weird?
You're pretty absent-minded, so you could be targeted by a molester.
Hey, I'm not absent-minded. I'm actually paying a lot of attention.
Then tell me, what do you see?
You're always so mean, Okarin. I puff up my cheeks and rest my head against Okarin's chest.
What is it?
Nothing.
I see. I thought you were sleepy after eating or something.
That's not it. It's really calming, yet my heart is pounding so hard it feels like it'll turn inside out. I'm thankful for this packed train.
Anyway, speaking of Luca, when you bought your cell phone, what was the default picture on it? No reason, just curious.
Okarin, thank you.
Huh? For what?
For lots of different things.
You're quite weird tonight, Mairi.
Despite his mocking, he strokes my head.
Affection level up. What?
No, it's nothing. Stroking my head is like a habit for Okarin, so it probably doesn't mean anything to him. But it's special to me. I don't want to forget Okarin. I tightly grip Okarin's coat. I don't know if he heard me or not, but Okarin silently continues to hold me close. That's enough to mysteriously calm my unease. It takes a little over 10 more minutes to reach Ikebukuro. The time limit is slowly but surely approaching. When we reach Ikebukuro, we head to Grandma's grave. I thought of all kinds of places, but this was the only place that seemed right.
Didn't we just visit her grave the other day, or are you trying a test of courage?
No, I'm not testing my courage. I ain't afraid of no ghost or anything anyway.
You're a lot braver than you look, Mairi.
I'm still a little scared of bad ghosts, but I'd be happy to see Grandma's ghost. That's what I meant.
I see. Yeah, that would not be so bad.
This is a special place to me, so I come here for walks once in a while. It's quiet and the view of the stars is pretty. It's really calming.
I see. So this place is like a sanctuary for you.
Sanctu... Well, I guess that's close enough.
You don't know what that is, do you? Sanctu is a vegetable used to wrap meat. Don't just go along with whatever I say.
Oops.
Well, whatever. This is the usual place. Anyway, what would you like me to do as your hostage?
This is Mayushi's spot. You should sit down too, Okarin.
Alright, as long as your grandmother won't mind.
I sit down on the round stone near Grandma's grave, then scoot over a bit to make room for Okarin to sit.
Oh, hello?
He sits down next to me.
Madam?
I look up at the night sky and I see stars spread out across the whole thing. Look, Okarin, the stars are amazing. Aren't they pretty?
Yeah, they are.
The stars really are the prettiest from here.
The darker it is, the easier it is to see the stars, after all.
Yeah, but that's not the only reason. It's because this place is a sanctuary for me. I think that makes them seem even prettier.
It's sanctuary. Sounds like a case of subconscious compensation, which is one of your fortes, I must say.
Yep. The two of us sit side by side, silently staring up at the night sky. Looking up at the starry sky when it's so quiet makes me feel like I'll be sucked into it. Time slowly passes by in silence.
Anyway, Ferris has a huge one as well.
I always sit here. I look up at the sky and think about all kinds of things.
For a while, you would come here every day.
And you would come with me.
Of course, you're my hostage after all. It's my duty to keep watch over you.
I really owe you for that. No, it's not just that. You're always helping me so much, Okarin. I'm sorry.
Why are you apologizing?
Because I'm causing trouble for you.
Watching over you is no big deal.
Okarin, you've always said that. You've always spoiled Mayushi, but I started thinking that we can't keep that up.
What's wrong, Mayuri? You've been acting strange today. Did something happen?
It's nothing.
You're a bad liar, Mayuri.
Huh? I don't think I'm as bad as you are.
I'm bad at lying.
Yup. You've only ever told me gentle lies, right? But I could tell.
What are you even talking about? I honestly have no idea. You must be imagining things. Subconscious compensation is your forte, after all.
Ocarine feigns ignorance with a forced look of confusion, and I can't help but laugh. Sheesh, you've always been so stubborn. You never change.
Well, sorry. That's the star I was born under, so I can't help it.
Don't blame it on the stars.
Why not? That's where the fault lies.
Our conversation pauses, and we're surrounded by silence again. I look at the night sky again and search for the usual star. Among the gently twinkling stars, I quickly find the North Star, Polaris, shining especially bright. Found it.
Found what?
The star that Grandma told me about. Grandma taught me about the stars. With picture book in hand, she taught me about the easiest to find stars when I was a child. Polaris is the first one Mayushi was able to find. I stand up as though drawn toward its radiance. I stretch up, reaching for Polaris. I've always been jealous of that star, never changing, always shining in the same place. I wish Grandma could have stayed with me forever, just like it has.
Stardust Pancake. I guess old habits never die.
Yeah, if only I could grab that star. I feel like I could stay the same forever if I did. With my hand still stretched toward Polaris, I reveal the secret that I hadn't told anyone before.
That star.
Polaris, the star that shines in the same spot forever, never changing.
Never changing.
Yeah. Change can be really scary. After Grandma died, everything in my world changed. Everything turned gray and I felt nothing. It was like I was trapped in a giant maze with no sign of the exit. Looking back and remembering it makes my body tremble. I was lonely and afraid. I have a hard time continuing. It's like my entire body refuses to let me say anything more. But I wrap my arms around myself to stop my trembling and manage to open my mouth to continue. This is something I need to tell Ocarine at the very least. To be honest, on that day that Grandma died, we had plans to make dango together. She was going to teach me. But my friends invited me to go to a festival that day, and I decided to go with them. I broke my promise to Grandma. I figured I could just meet Grandma whenever, so I could just visit her tomorrow. But that tomorrow never came.
I didn't know about that.
Yeah, Grandma. She suddenly got sick, but she lived alone, so nobody noticed that she had collapsed. If I had kept my promise that day, Grandma might not have died. I regretted it so much. But I couldn't tell anyone. I was scared that people would say that I killed Grandma.
Of course you didn't, Mayuri.
But I couldn't tell anyone and just kept thinking, what if, over and over. That's the only thing that swirled around in my head, and it wouldn't stop. When I realized it, the world around me had turned gray.
That was likely a defense mechanism of some sort.
Yeah, but you were the one who saved me from that maze, Ocarine. You told me where the exit was.
Back then, I thought you would go somewhere far away, so there was no way I could take my eyes off of you.
After I became your hostage, color slowly started coming back into my gray world.
Could look at the sea and see it as blue again.
Thank you for taking me hostage, Ocarine. But you don't have to worry about me anymore.
What? What does that mean?
Ocarine sharply glares at me and I hesitate to keep talking. But I gather up my courage and desperately go on. I don't want to be a burden on you, Ocarine. I can't let myself be spoiled by your white lies anymore. Things have to change eventually. That's why.
Mayuri, what are you saying?
I take a deep breath and calm my heart. If possible, I don't want to say these words, but I have to. After today, I'm not going to be your hostage anymore.
And Tarobang, what did you say? I won't accept that. You can't decide that on your own.
I know that you've suffered so much because of me, Ocarine, but I don't want to see you suffer anymore. Take the diary and blue Upa from my bag behind me and hold them out to Ocarine. I want you to hold on to these in my place.
What? An Upa and a diary?
This blue Upa is my favorite in my entire Upa collection. It's my treasure.
If it's your treasure, you should hold on to it for yourself.
I want you to have it because it's my most cherished thing. Look, this blue Upa is aqua. It's the same color as my favorite dress. I'd be happy if you thought about me every time you looked at this blue Upa.
Don't say such strange things. Of course I wouldn't forget you. So I don't need to borrow your blue Upa.
Don't say that. I want you to take my diary and my blue Upa hostage in my place. Ocarine tries to hand the diary and blue Upa back to me, but I step back. With this, there's nothing left. I have no regrets. All I need to do is press the send button on the message I prepared beforehand. My thumb hovers over the send button on my cell phone behind my back. This D-mail is the door to a past where I never became Ocarine's hostage. A message to fulfill the promise I broke with Grandma that day.
She's gonna make sure she goes to her grandma's. Oh no, that's gonna change so much.
A message that I'll send to my mom's cell phone in the past.
Mayuri, what are you doing? Don't tell me you.
Ocarine, let's meet again sometime. I'm sure we will, right? When Ocarine notices me holding my cell phone behind my back, he grabs onto me.
A D-mail! Mayuri, stop it!
He's really strong. He grips my wrist and tries to get the phone out of my hand. Ocarine, I'll see you again, okay? I try my hardest to smile.
No.
But I'm frustrated that no matter how hard I try, it's a crying smile at best. Mayushi always wanted to be your... Right before I'm about to drop the phone, I press the send button. The next moment, everything around me goes quiet. It's so quiet my ears hurt.
Huh.
Ocarine's saying something, but I can't hear anymore. I don't know what he's saying. It's the same as back when Grandma died. In the span of a moment, the world is painted completely gray.
Holy shit.
The cemetery is totally silent at night. It's really calming. I don't think it's scary at all. It's the place where my beloved grandma rests after all. I'd welcome grandma's ghost anytime. The moonlight gently illuminates my surroundings. The moon's so pretty. For a while, I'm totally entranced by the moon floating in the night sky. I'm glad it was sunny for your memorial service. Rain seems to follow me wherever I go, so I was kind of worried. Everyone always asks me not to make it rain, especially Mom. I look down at Grandma's grave and smile. In front of the grave is a bouquet of lilies and some dango that I offered. These two things are absolutely necessary for visiting Grandma's grave. Just then, I suddenly sense someone's presence and I look up. I look around. Nobody's here. The same sights are all around me with no changes from before. I felt like someone was here just now. Was it just my imagination? I look around again, but as I thought, I'm the only person here. Still, I'm sure I felt someone nearby a moment ago. I tilt my head, confused. I thought someone might be out here for a test of courage or something. A test of courage. I feel like that someone had mentioned a test of courage to me. But that's impossible. How weird. I'm the only person here. Maybe I fell asleep for a moment and that was just a dream? The sort of dream I always get when I start nodding off in class after lunch. Today was pretty busy with Grandma's memorial service after all.
So she still died on the same day.
Maybe I'm just tired. After the service, I said goodbye to my mom and everyone and came here to visit Grandma's grave. I squat down in front of the grave and put my hands together. Grandma, I made your favorite dango this year too. I made it the way you taught me, same as always.
She lived another day.
Or at least Mayushi learned how to make the dango before Grandma still died. The stars in the night sky twinkle like they're agreeing with what I said. I'm glad we were able to make dango together before you died. Every memorial service, I think about how glad I am that I kept my promise to you. One little mistake and I might not have been able to do that. The day before Grandma died, I had made plans to make dango with her. But on that day, my friends invited me to go to the summer festival. So I was thinking about putting my plans with Grandma off for another day. However, Mom told me to keep my promises, no matter how small they may seem. I decided not to go to the summer festival and went to visit Grandma's house. I still think it's strange how Mom knew about our plans together. Do you have any idea why, Grandma? That day, Grandma and I made and ate dango together and had a great time, but after a while, she collapsed. I called Mom as fast as I could, and Grandma was carried off to the hospital in an ambulance. However, she still passed away in the middle of the night. If I had broken my promise with Grandma that day, I bet I would have regretted it so much. To tell you the truth, Grandma, once in a while I have a dream that I broke my promise with you. It's a really scary one. A dream where I'm trapped in a gray world and I can't hear or feel anything. But there's always someone who saves me. Every time I have a nightmare, he appears from somewhere and saves me. I don't think I know him, but I feel like it's not the first time we've met. Maybe it's because he keeps appearing in my dreams? It feels like we met somewhere a long time ago. I wonder why. I suddenly feel a tightness in my chest. Huh? Before I know it, a tear falls from my eye. It surprises me. But nothing sad happened. The tears start falling down my cheeks one after another. I don't know why I'm crying, and I have no idea what to do. I feel like I've lost something very dear to me. I have a feeling, but I don't know what it is. It's very sad and painful. If only Grandma was around for times like this. Grandma, I want to see you again. I take Pockety out, put it up to my ear, and close my eyes. I remember the way Grandma would always smile when she listened to what I had to say. When I do this, I feel like Grandma's with me. I don't know why, but I start to feel a little less lonely and uneasy. However, the feeling of having a hole in my heart doesn't change. One year passed.
Well, that was depressing.
Exam studies have...
Although, she made it past the,
Yeah,
Yeah, I guess that was enough to put us on a different world line.
she found the ticket to the Steins Gate world line through pure vibes.
Okay. Well, this is the saddest Steins Gate world line, but all right.
Exam studies have gotten extra tough ever since I became a third year. My upcoming summer break will probably be spent mostly in cram school. Still, I've decided that I'll definitely make time to participate in summer komima. I've been steadily making preparations. Winter komima will be right before exams, so I think going to that might be asking a little too much of myself. So I want to enjoy summer komima as much as I can to make up for it. Mayushi, Fubuki-chan, and Kaide-chan are planning on going as magical girls from Domadogi this year.
What's her inbox?
That's the same costumes they were going to
Yeah.
in the previous world line.
I forget what voices I gave them, but I love you, Mayushi. I'm so anxious for summer komima that I just want to give you a big kiss. Those two things aren't related, you say? Nay, they couldn't be more related. We finally get to wear a Domadogi cosplay. That's all thanks to you convincing Kaide-chan, Mayushi. I'm crazy grateful. You know what? As thanks, I'm inviting you to May Queen today. And then we responded to that with...
You're welcome. Yay, let's go now.
And then... Kaide-chan's... Making cosplay's tough, right? So about Fubuki-chan. She's cray excited about the Domadogi outfits. They've got lots of frills, so they seem to be harder to make than usual. Are you gonna be okay? I'm perfectly fine with last year's outfits. Sorry, I lost control. I'll help with anything I can, so feel free to ask. Oh, you're busy with entrance exam stuff, too. Thank you for working so hard.
It's no biggie. I think the Busho armor was harder to make. I like making outfits, and I always wanted to wear one from Domadogi, so it's no problem at all.
Well, this is sad.
Today's a long-needed day off, so I went to visit the maid cafe where Fubuki works part-time.
Fubuki takes her? Okay.
She gave me a small bamboo branch as a present. Working at a maid cafe seems fun. I want to try it sometime. I'll definitely become a maid once exams are over.
Now that the wars are over.
Mayushi's been lucky to enjoy so many fun days like this one. I'm more than blessed with great friends. But still, I wonder why. Once in a while, I feel like something's missing, even though nothing should be missing. I start thinking that I'm just spoiled by luxury. But at the same time, I feel like maybe that's not quite it. There's a hole deep in my heart, and it worries me once in a while when it starts hurting. That's not all. Sometimes I suddenly can't stop crying or start doing other strange things. Ever since visiting Grandma's grave last year, I have this strange, worrying feeling. I feel like I'm not quite myself. It's a gloomy feeling, like something's different, but I have no idea what. I stop and sigh. No. Today's Tanabata. I won't enjoy it if I feel all gloomy. I need to change my mood. Every year for Tanabata, I look forward to buying a small bamboo at the flower shop, hanging cards with wishes written on them, and eating dango while looking at the starry sky. Ah, right. While I'm at it, maybe I should wish for this gloomy feeling to go away. I get happy when I come up with a good idea and look up at the night sky. But the sky is too bright from all the city lights, like there's a thin haze covering the whole thing. I figured this place would be too bright. You can barely see any stars. I was going to head straight home to Kamata, but I get caught up at the station's ticket gate. My pass is gone. That's strange. I'm sure I put it in my bag. That reminds me. I tripped and fell at the maid cafe I visited today, and everything spilled out of my bag. Maybe I forgot to pick it up? I try sending a message to Fubuki-chan. Lost item.
Oh, whoops.
Sorry, but once I do, I realize something.
What was it she sent?
Sorry, but is my pass anywhere at the cafe? I think I lost it. But once I do, I realize something. Fubuki would still be on her shift, so she can't check her messages.
Funny how that keeps happening.
I have no choice. I have to go back to the cafe. Did I take the wrong street? This isn't the wide street with the maid cafe on it. It's a back alley. What should I do?
What do?
I keep walking and looking around. But I suddenly stop in front of an old building. The first floor is a store selling old TVs, while the second floor window has a sign saying room available.
Oh no!
This building. What is this? Looking up at it makes me feel really sad for some reason. Wait, up on the roof? Is someone up there? It's too dark to tell for sure, but I feel like I saw someone's silhouette. I'm just seeing things, right? And even if someone was up on the roof, it doesn't have anything to do with me. I mutter to myself as the gloomy feeling inside my chest swells bigger and bigger. Why do I feel like this? I can't help but be curious about the shadow I saw on the roof. I try to ignore it and walk past the building, but my feet won't move. The feeling of wanting to check on the identity of the silhouette is too strong. I need to take a look. I slowly walk up the building's old stairs. The staircase is pitch dark without a light to be seen, but I slowly climb to the roof. The building's rooftop is just as dark and totally silent. Is someone there? I look around and try calling out. However, there's no reply, and no signs of anyone's presence. Was it really just Mayushi's imagination? I tilt my head, look up at the night sky, and notice that it's filled with stars. Wow, you can see the stars pretty well in Akiba too. I didn't know. Development around the station is thriving, so it's bright even at night. But there are a lot of old shops around this building, and most of their shutters are closed right now. Old, empty buildings normally seem scary to me, but for some reason this place doesn't scare me at all. I wonder why. It feels really nostalgic. This should be my first time here, but I feel like it isn't. No, it's more than that. I feel like I've finally returned. I want to see you. I whisper this without realizing it. Who am I whispering to? I don't know. But I feel like there's someone really important to me who I haven't met in a long time. Just like the legend of Tanabata. I wonder if Orihime and Hikoboshi managed to meet. I continue looking up at the night sky and imagine a couple who can only meet once a year. And if it rains, they can't even do that. They need to wait at least another year. That would be really disappointing. But because of that, when they do manage to meet, I'm sure they're super happy. It's way better than never being able to meet again. I look down at the small bamboo branch in my hand. Maybe I should make a wish. I take a loose-leaf piece of paper out of my bag, crease it into a long and thin rectangle, and tear it into a strip by hand. I intended to wish for this gloomy feeling to go away, but I don't think that would be very interesting. I go with a different wish. May those who want to see each other meet. I write a vague wish onto the paper. I worry that I might be asking the gods for too much as I thread string through the card and tie it to the bamboo branch. I grasp the bamboo branch with the card hanging from it and hold it up to the night sky. May this wish reach the heavens. As usual, I was subconsciously searching for a star. I quickly find it. The one always shining in the same place, Polaris. The first star that Grandma ever taught me about. I gaze up at it and feel like crying. Grandma, you said before that people who want to see each other will always meet again someday. That it's fate. I think there's someone that I want to see, but I don't know who. If I don't know who it is and I wish to see them, will we still meet? I stand on tiptoes, praying with all my heart, and extend the bamboo branch toward the North Star. May we meet again somehow. Please, hear my wish. I wish as hard as I can. Then...
Stardust handshake.
There's a voice behind me. The moment I hear that low voice, my whole body trembles, and I choke up. That voice is too nostalgic. I want to turn around, but I'm too afraid. Who are you? I'm still frozen on the spot and tremblingly ask the figure behind me.
Shinamayuri, you should know full well who I am.
Why do you know my name?
I know you. I've been searching for you all this time.
I'm suddenly embraced from behind. A nostalgic scent fills my lungs. This is an impossible situation. Yet, mysteriously, my heart is calm. There were tears falling from both of my eyes. You've been looking for me the whole time?
Yeah, that's right.
Why? Who are you?
When you were a child, you lived in Ikebukuro. Do you remember that little brat you played with in the neighborhood?
His words bring the past back to me. That's right. After Grandma died, I moved to Kamata, where I live now. Until then, I lived in Ikebukuro. There was a boy a little older than me who I often played with, I think. He was full of curiosity and always getting into mischief. The grown-ups around town were constantly scolding him. I think his name was Rinta-kun.
It has been a while since anyone called me that.
His sad voice makes my chest tighten up.
In this world line, to you I'm just a random boy who you played with a long time ago.
He embraces me so strongly I can barely breathe. I can tell that Rinta-kun is trembling just as much as I am.
But a hostage cannot quit of her own accord. Hoenn Kyoma would never allow such a thing. No matter where you flee, I shall not allow you to escape.
Hostage. Hoenn Kyoma. His exaggerated manner of speech. Everything is so nostalgic. Too nostalgic. It's nostalgic, but I still can't remember. And it breaks my heart. I can't stop crying.
Good grief, what a troublesome hostage you are. How much searching do you think I had to do?
He strokes my head. Having my head stroked like this feels really pleasant. Thank you for finding me.
I'm not crying, you're crying. Aww. Well, that was sad.
And yet,
I didn't expect it to be like that.
nobody had to die.
Yeah.
Other than Grandma.
Other than Grandma. Rip. Pour one out.
Mayushi is one of two people who successfully cracked the fucking code and got to a world line that doesn't involve the fucking devil's choice between
Her and Kurisu.
her and Kurisu.
Yeah.
And she did it without having to know fuck all about time travel.
God damn it. Well, shit, I guess you can't argue with results, huh?
Yeah. It's a kind of sad world line for some ways for her and for Okabe, but yeah.
What a bittersweet. Well, that was really good.
Yeah.
I really liked that one. I really liked that one a lot. It's the kind of thing that absolutely could fit in with the universe and is very sad, but also happy sad.
Mhm.
I like happy sad. It's good. It's a good. We've only got 2 more left to go. We've got Moeka's next, the Quantum Awakening, and then I believe it'll be Nai's. That's the final one.
Interesting.
I guess we'll see you next time for the Quantum. That sounds interesting.
Hmm.
Sounds like a Hanu Rajan Yami novel. Join us next time. I can't imagine that Moeka's will be the same level of drama.
What if it is?
What if it is? I imagine hers will be more goofy. Because she hasn't shown up in a lot. Her and I can't remember her name right now. Suzuha. Her and Suzuha are always the 2 characters that seem to get jettisoned the most quickly whenever world lines change. Because the things that brought them to the Future Gadget Lab were very specific to that world lines events.
Mm-hmm.
So it's always kind of sad when they don't get their time. So I'm glad we get to see her do something. That'll be fun.
Yeah.
We'll see you all next time
Next time.
for that. It'll be fun. Bye.
Smash that like, comment and subscribe.